Unfortunately, fellas, I don't think I can do the alum chalk there because I don't think I've got enough of this. So I don't think I've got a full part here. So I could. So I've barely got just over half, I think. I suppose I could just measure it out, but yeah, I suppose, but then I won't get a full pot, you see. So I want to. It's better to get a full pot, do a proper test run. But it's Father's Day this weekend, I think, so maybe I can restock with Father's Day and get myself and do a proper. Trouble is, if I get a bag of alum, you know what's going to happen. I'll buy a full bag of alum. I'll try the copper, and we'll find the copper is the bee's knees or something like that. You know, it'll be even better than this. Okay, spot culling, as you do. Problems with this one? I don't know if you can see that little the little crystal glinting in there. That means it's still got it's crystallizing. So yeah, and I got burning underneath the leaves, so obviously the roots have been burnt off in that one. So it probably needs a good rain soak to wash out any excess of the potash out of the medium, and then we'll give it a retest. Though the fern seems pretty tough. Yeah, it makes you wonder, well, if the ferns are that tough, and I'm using the fern as an analogue for Bonata, makes you wonder. Yeah, Bonatas are stronger than you think they are. Okay, well that's surviving, but this is even better. Look at the succulence I'm getting on these ones in here, and they've only been in a few days, you know, so that's why I want to say, you know, if we switch from aluminium to copper, we may get a bit of a surprise. We may get more of that look, and it may go brown. Whereas if I do an aluminium chalk one, it may go brown over time, you know, forming, I assume, brown copper oxide. But that one, if I do it with the cement, it may actually form the oxide straight away, so the whole medium just goes brown, sort of thing. Which means we know that it's locked up in a safe form, sort of thing. So yeah, so you know, it's 2 of one, half a dozen the other. This one also looks like we may be getting a little bit of burning too on there, so that may have to stabilise down a bit more. But as I said, but the fern, I don't know, it's just not growing yet, or it's tougher than you think it is, fellas. But yeah, this one, it looks like we're getting a bit burning on there, so maybe too strong. So I do the aluminium and chalk, that may be the same. Yeah, it'd be too strong, so it was wiser, I think, just to go for the copper, I think, because we might find that is the answer and we just forget all about that. But you know, the chalk one here, the pure chalk one, interesting. It's the best one so far of the chalks, but I'm getting this sort of I don't know, it's an odd sort of look. It's a sickly look, like the green's being mixed with the red sort of thing, you know. It's like there's both red and green there at the same time, you know. Don't know how close I can get. But the actual fern, Crozier, that was the name I was after the other day, is coming on quite strong, just like the Crozier on, which one is it? Where is it? Yeah, this Crozier here, on just the, you know, the 50-50 cement and cellulose one, is quite strong too, though I am getting a bit of, I think the leaf is starting to, you know, have problems on the side there, so obviously doesn't like it too alkaline. But the plants there, they're struggling, but you know. So I think we found a when I cut the leaves off of this thing here, and it's okay now. It's sort of surviving out, so it's just having a bit of demand on its transpiration, I think. Oh, and the Dioneer leaf that I stuck in there, yeah, it's quite happy in there at the moment, or apparently it seems to be, so you know. Yeah, still we're stuck with pure chalk and cellulose, you know, 50-50, and this one here with the aluminium in the cellulose seems to be the best at the moment, and we may be shying away from the so-called phosphorus pathway. I think we've all been tricked to go down the phosphorus pathway, I think, thinking that would be the bee's knees. You know, you do small scale experiments and you get some good results, but when you scale up to big pots, I think it's wrong, fellas. I think I think it's going to be more to do with copper and fixation of nitrogen from the atmosphere. I think, you know, 'cause copper is an element that's known to be able to react with nitrogen, as you know from high school chemistry. All those cuprous ammonium compounds you make. So yeah, so we'll see how we go. Yeah, we may end up with a combination of aluminium and copper or something like that, because the aluminium is acting a bit like potassium, so we end up with the copper fixing nitrogen, the aluminium acting a bit like potassium sort of thing, but then they have to be carnivorous to actually get their actual you know, potassium from the insects sort of thing, and sulfur and phosphorus sort of thing. Yeah, the phosphorus pathway may be illusory. Works on the small scale but not on the large, because all the scientific papers reckon that there's low phosphorus